Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast, man. Listen, we are in a mode of only interviewing people who have a track record of winning, doing big stuff, and two, people I'm like super curious about what's going on and how you built something so great. So we got the crew, the team from One Music Fest and Togetherland. If you are not, you don't even have to be in Atlanta to know what One Music Fest is, because people come from around the world to attend this event, and we'll get into the conversation today. But what's up, fellas? What's happening, man?
What's up, man?
Yo.
You got some eye right there. It's like lint on this side, other side. Let me get you right, because I ain't gonna have you bad out here. Get it? Nope. It's you got it. Okay.
Got it.
All right, cool. So, well, let me get everybody introduce themselves first. I'm gonna start with my brother Steve, because he's the reason we're all here. Okay, this is one of my favorite people in the world. We'll give you the shirt off his back. He will plug you with anybody without any look for a return, just because he is just good people and have helped me tremendously. So, my brother Steve Canal, what's up, brother?
What's up, Shan? It's my brother.
Man.
Appreciate you having us, man.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I'm glad you came, and I'm just glad you are who you are, man. Did anybody not like you? Do you have any does anybody beef with you or anything?
My kids, when I take their iPads,
Oh, that's bad.
That's beef.
You're a monster.
Real beef.
How could daddy? But yeah, man, introduce yourself, my brother.
Yeah, Steve Canal. Born and raised in New York. Migrated down to Atlanta in 2006, which was one of the best moves I could have made in my life.
Yeah.
Met some amazing people, brothers, sisters, who's become family. Co-founder of One Venture Group, which is our overarching business that houses some of the platforms that you mentioned earlier, and we'll talk more about that.
For sure.
But glad to be here, man. Social Proof and the work that you all have put into this platform is amazing. You're changing lives. I think I tell you that all the time. Like, you're doing God's work, bro. You're doing God's work with the hot seat, Social Proof, and everything that you all do. So appreciate you and what you do, man.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Go ahead, you can introduce yourself, my brother.
Troy Brown. Again, one of the sides to this conglomerate. Happy to be here, man.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I didn't get a chance to connect with you in Dallas because we were all running around doing our thing. Keeping things up during the storms and everything. But super excited to be here, man. It's a pleasure to watch you do what you do. So
thank you.
Yeah,
what's your background, Troy?
Brand marketing, digital background, started in telecom. Building digital products and services and marketing, and that's my background from 20, 25, 30 years.
Wow.
My parents started in telecom, so
Sheesh.
as one of the first black executives at New England Telephone.
Wow.
Which then became Bell Atlantic, which then became Verizon, and that was my internship. I was an intern for Ivan Seidenberg, who was the CEO of Verizon.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's how I started.
I see how you're fitting into this puzzle. Yeah. I'm seeing the puzzle pieces come together for this one venture. I go for it, brother.
Motown Lee. I am the West Coast affiliate.
Motown Lee
team. Yeah.
Okay.
From the West Coast. I have came from the entertainment side. I started as a DJ, got a job at a record label. They moved me to Atlanta. Worked for Priority Records, left there, start managing 8-Ball and MJG, Lloyd, worked with Gucci.
Really?
Yeah, a bunch of other artists. Then went and worked with Interscope. And during the process, one of my closest friends came and was like, I'm gonna start a festival. And I was like, I've never even been to I had never been to a festival from a consumer at that point. And I was like, you want to do it? Let's do it. So 15 years ago, the next guy Unique brought me on to the OMF team, and here we are today.
When were you managing 8-Ball and MJG?
I did their Bad Boy deal.
Really?
Yeah, I did. So they after they left Suave, they went to this independent label called J-Core. And I was the national director of marketing and promotions at J-Core. 9/11 hit, the label went under, and the guys was like, you want to manage us? And I was like, I've never been a manager. but they was like, you can do it. So we end up doing it. And so like we were in limbo, found the bad boy situation. Puff like offer more money than in all the publishing and everything they wanted. So we ended up doing the deal. So
sheesh.
Yeah, I executive like the Living Legends album, I actually executive produced it. Yeah.
Wow.
One of the few people who can give you real stories with artists that you're like, really? Like, I'm a huge Tupac fan. This guy actually spent time with Tupac on the
Really?
road.
Yeah, I was his DJ for like 2 months.
Tupac's DJ?
Yeah. He literally we were on tour and he left to go do I think it was like Poetic Justice or something like that. And then I just stayed on the road. I never went back and DJ'd and worked for him. I ended up getting a job at the label and it was on from there.
Listen, we're going to get to the rest of the interview. Give me your most memorable Tupac story. I'm a huge Pac fan.
All right, so no offense to my brother because he's an Omega. So we do this, we're in Indianapolis and we do this show. And we used to always play this game where like we knock on each other's door and if you open the door, we just throw water on you. So, you know what I'm saying? This one particular time, like there was this girl with me, wasn't messing around or anything like that. And I was like, hey, can you go knock on the door and get, like there was towels. I'm like, can you go ask them to get towels? They thought it was me. So when they opened the door, they just doused her with water. So she's all wet. She's like, I can't go to the party. The party's like downstairs. So I'm like, all right, well, let's go get your clothes from your car. So we go downstairs to get her clothes and open the door, and there's these dudes. It's like a bunch of Omegas. One of the dudes ended up being the girl's boyfriend. So it looks like we messing around. And he's like, nah, you know, you messing around with this dude, da-da-da. So they're like, all right, we finna beat you down. So I'm like trying to get the elevator to close. They holding it open. And just then, like right before they get on me, the other elevator opens and it's Tupac and like some of the Thug Life dudes. And he's like, what's going on? I'm like, man, they trying to beat me down. So they end up getting in the scuffle. He saves me from getting beat down from these Omegas. But the funny part is, so the next day we get on the flight to leave, and he's always the last one on the flight. So I'm sitting there. He gets on the flight. He goes, hey, I want everybody to know on this flight that this ninja almost got his nerve beat last night.
Yo, that's crazy, man. Oh my God.
He was just a clown last night, that time, but he saved me because it was over for me that day.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, after this, I just want to hear more like Pac stories. But yeah, so go ahead, introduce yourself. Yeah.
Jay Carter, one of the co-founders of One Venture Group, founder of One Music Fest, Togetherland. Yeah, man.
And is this One Music Fest? What was the idea? Was the idea One Music Fest or One Venture Group first?
One Music Fest came first.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I had a platform. It was a platform and an event called Soul Fusion that kind of birthed One Music Fest. Yeah. So and the idea of Soul Fusion was really, because I was a corporate dude. You know, I worked for my family business for a little while. Then I went corporate, but very social. Had a big social circle. And one of my homegirls came to like a house party I was doing at one of my homies' house who played ball overseas. It was a nice sized house with some 24-year-olds. And we easily had about 500 some odd people at this house party on a Friday in Snow Mountain. You live in Atlanta. And so she came and she was at that time.
What year is this?
Probably 2000.
Okay.
And my homegirl was running like Keith Sweat's restaurants and clubs and all that. She came to the party and she literally was like, yo, how you getting 500 people on a Friday to show up to a house party? Do this at my club. And I was like, no. But I said, if you pay for it, I'll do it. Yeah. And so that kind of started me kind of moonlighting, doing some events. And that was also
promotion, like a promoter, pretty much. Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay.
But But back in the day, to me, promoter was like an ugly word. I don't even know goddamn promoter.
Really?
Promoter? But but there's significance in that, right? As far as like how you wear that hat and that label. And then I did an event at HushSpot. That was also the year that that Vic got drafted. Mm-hmm. And so like all the Falcons came, Vic came through, and that's when they was like, dog, you gotta keep this going. And that's when I kind of sat down and said, well, if I'm gonna do it, it needs to have some kind of reason or some base to it. Yeah. And at that time, I just realized Atlanta was popping, but everything was very segmented. You know, it was white night, Asian night, gay night, black night. But if you pop into these different sets and clubs, everybody's really kind of playing the same music. It was a vibe. So the whole concept was like, what happens if you put all these people in one space? And that kind of was the birth of Soul Fusion. So
the idea for, so Soul Fusion is a bunch of different genres being played in one building.
Genres, but come as you are. You know what I mean? So we would have, you know, political leaders, business owners, strippers, dope boys, felons, you know what I'm saying? Granola tree huggers, like all partying together, you know? And
but I mean, demographics still, I mean, I don't know if this could be prejudice. All those sound black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe should have said that. All right, but anyway, I mean, is it still, you're trying to bring black people together or like all these different people?
It at that point, it really didn't matter. It was a vibe, right? So some of our DJs were white, some were Asian, some were black, you know, and we just would do a mass promotion to really everybody. I mean, but typically you're going to go, like, if you're promoting an event and you got Jay Leno over here on your wall and Jay Leno's promoting an event and it seemed like the same event, and if I received information from you and Jay, I'm probably coming to you because I connect more with you.
Yeah.
That's just what promotions is.
For sure.
Right? So obviously my audience was going to be more black than anything else.
Yeah.
But you get sprinkles.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so that really kind of birthed the kind of basis and foundation of like what we produce. Is really about unity, togetherness, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Okay.
Erasing those barriers, etc.
So where was Soul Fusion?
We started in a spot called, it was a club called Karma.
Okay.
Yeah, it was downtown Atlanta. It was kind of like this little Moroccan love palace. It had beds in it, candles. I mean, dumb sexy. Jeez. You know, like when Hugh Hefner would do his private party in Atlanta, he did it at Karma. You know what I'm saying? Dumb sexy. So and it was kind of like, you know, tucked away, could hold about 700 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was crazy back in the day.
He went there.
He was just there.
He just went there, man.
Yeah, I was a single man. No kids in my 20s. I was just, you know what I'm saying? It was
No, it was the way he looked up in the air like.
Yeah, you saw that, right? His eyes just rolled in the back of his head for a minute.
All right, so you're a promoter at this point.
Yeah.
When do we get the idea for One Music Fest, and how do we bring these players together?
So while I was doing that, I also had an opportunity to open up 2 clubs, and one was a live music venue called Sugar Hill. Always was in love with live music. Sugar Hill just heightened it. We had everybody on that stage from Gil Scott-Heron to Outkast to Wayne. We used to have pop-up, like it would be like a jam session on Tuesdays. Jill Scott, Erykah Badu. Anybody that was in town that was doing in the studios recording their album, they would come through on a Tuesday and just pop up. It was super dope.
So not a booking? They'll just come through?
You wouldn't even know. So with Joy Gillum, who was of the Dungeon family, hosted. And then we had a super dope band as well that was led by my guy Little John. Not Little John the DJ, but Little John the drummer. And so it just got really popular, man. And then I started really exploring the music scene out there and saw that there was a huge gaping hole in how festivals are being programmed, you know.
What was the competition at that point?
None.
There wasn't any?
None. In
so
08, no black festivals.
This, what was the night?
Essence. Let me not hate on Essence.
Essence,
like,
okay.
Essence.
So Sugar Hill, did any of y'all know about Sugar Hill before? I bet you got some stories, brother. So y'all, so from your perspective, what was going on with that club and Jay Carter? From your perspective, what did you see?
For me, when I first moved to Atlanta, I had my own business, but then I went into corporate.
What was the
because,
business?
Can't even remember the name right now. But it was, a marketing agency.
Okay, gotcha.
Marketing agency. We worked with the U.S. Army, Delta, American Airlines, everybody, you know.
While you had your job?
Well, okay. No, that was the job. Moved here. It was more cost effective in Atlanta than New York.
Gotcha.
So moved everything here. So while I was here the first year, I was like, I don't need to meet anybody. I got my own thing. I'm good. Second year, I was like, all right, I'm going to get out, right? Started doing stuff in the market, and then corporate started paying attention. So I started working at Miller Coors, right, to develop their multicultural in the market. So everything you could think of from that brand was me doing it and coming up with a strategy in the market. So my job was to go out. So I go to Sugar Hill, and I see this guy, I don't know him yet, carrying, you know, boxes of, you know, liquor, moving it, you know, behind the bar. I notice he's the one that's interacting with everybody, engaging with everybody. I was like, all right, I gotta get to know this guy, right? We started working together, started sponsoring a lot of the events he was doing in the market.
Oh, wow.
So our relationship started to build off of that because my job was to make the brands the it thing in the market. So Compound, all the major venues you could think of in the market, I had relationships with them all, spending the machine's dollar in our community.
Wow.
So built a relationship with Jay, you know, from that point, because I saw what he was doing in the venue, and that was the spot. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's how we got connected from that.
Okay, it's so beautiful how like the relationships and how people come together. It just seemed like a symbiotic relationship. I'm helping, and now you partner. So what was your perspective? Did you go to Sugar Hill?
Oh yeah, a million times. The thing with him and I, we always joke. We don't really know how we met each other. We don't. We just know that we've been like the closest of friends forever. We're born 3 days apart, so it's just like Geminis. We never met a stranger. But Sugar Hill, the crazy thing is, I would wish that everybody had that experience because it was like this was pre-section. VIP Atlanta.
Oh, people used to dance.
Yeah, they danced.
Hey, listen,
it's like a faraway.
And it's like,
hold on, let me explain something real quick to my audience of like younger groups. It was a time where you go to the club and you dance with people. You grind on butts.
That's right.
Okay, right?
For hours.
For sure. 4 hours, and then you find random people to grind on their butt.
That's right.
And then sometimes your friends will hold you up. And you're grinding on somebody's butt. But anyway, like dance time. So everybody will be dancing.
It was that, and it was, you're like literally, since it's no sections and none of that, you don't know who you standing next to. Because you'll be at the bar and talking to somebody and then look like, hey, wait a minute. That's Jill Scott I'm sitting there talking to for the past 30 minutes. It was just that experience. Like, he had everybody in there. I mean, you thinking about, like, you think like, Parliament and all kinds. So the experience when you go in there, it was just crazy.
Vibe.
You know what I mean? And so it was almost like Cheers. That's what it was like. Cheers. You know, like you go in there, you see people you know, you don't meet strangers. It was that experience. So from expanding that, and then and then with the soul fusion parties were like, not only were they welcoming to it was an experience. Like, you never know. He was having like a live band in there one day, maybe a mariachi band just falling through there in the middle of the party. He was like the first that D-Nice. Nobody even knew D-Nice was a DJ. He was the first person to booking D-Nice and putting D-Nice in the booth. People come in like, is that D-Nice? Like, we literally had a crazy, I don't know what birthday it was, but we did this party and D-Nice is DJing and Busta's there. He just randomly hops on the stage and performing. His Big Daddy Kane. It was just like, you just had to be there. And crazy thing is, he wasn't really charging people.
What you mean?
The parties, like, it was just like, all right, everybody come in, drink. You know what I mean? A lot of times it wasn't charging.
Everybody just pull up.
So, you know, if you going in for free, you really having a good time.
Right.
So it was.
Troy, were you familiar with this era of what's going on?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. So the crazy part is that it was Jay and I were put together by somebody that was working in the early stages of the festival, but after we were put together, we was like, wait a minute. So I had an agency, a digital marketing agency, and I had a partnership with a bigger agency, a black-owned agency called Alloy Access at the time, and I was the digital arm of that agency. My agency was the digital arm of that agency, and we launched several big brand properties at the time. One was called Hennessy Artistry, which like featured the Roots, and it was a mashup of like the Roots and Erykah Badu, and we'd have white artists on there. We had reggaeton artists on there. It was pop-ups, and it was a national touring property. Cities across the country. Another one was.
And are you pitching these ideas to the company? Are you pitching an idea like, yo, Hennessy, we need to do this, get the Roots put together?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And another big one was called, after we did that one, or that was the reason why we were able to do that, because we had another one called Heineken Red Star Soul, right? And the same thing. And as part of that program was we were honoring what we called local stars in their cities. Well, this guy was the local star in Atlanta.
Got it.
Right? And it was because of Soul Fusion.
Gotcha.
And literally what they got, it was like he got it was like a local Grammy or a local Emmy. It was an award, and he was honored and as on our stop when we came to Atlanta for Heineken Red Star Soul or Red Star Access. And after one of our stops, one of the individuals that was working in the early OMF days, we had come through on our stop here, and on that stop we had Kendrick Lamar, Trey Songz, and Waka Flocka.
Wow.
Right? And she said, Troy, like, it was one of our biggest stops, right? There was a line down Crescent Street around the corner, blah, blah, blah. And after that stop, we were having drinks over at then the W on 14th. And she's like, I'm leaving AEG at the time, one of the big concerts. And she's like, but you gotta meet this guy here in Atlanta that's now building this festival property. She's like, everything that you're doing from an agency perspective and the digital and the content and the brands, I gotta put you together. She's like, what are you doing next week? I'm gonna call him. And we had dinner that Monday. That was, what are we in now, 24? That was 12 years ago.
Wow.
And after that meeting, like it was synergy.
All right, listen, man, I got to tell y'all something special. I know y'all enjoying the episode, but I just want to highlight an entrepreneur that's doing some really cool entrepreneurial things, okay? Ovando in the Morning Meetup. What's up, man?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
I am blessed, brother. So tell me about what you got going on. This is going to feel like a commercial, but I want y'all to listen to it because I think this is inspirational for someone to have an idea, create a quality product, and get to this money. So what you got?
That's right. So what you're looking at is the new way of advertising for entrepreneurs. We have been working on this for quite some time now. And this is just, your personal mobile billboard. So whatever it is that you do, especially service-based, this is something that will get you in the center of attention everywhere you go. It's a walking billboard.
So, okay. So it's a book bag. Dang. Dope quality. Okay. You can put whatever. How do you load the stuff on there?
All right. So we've made it real easy. With the bag, you'll get a flash drive that you could plug into your phone, whether it be an iPhone or an Android device or a computer. Put whatever pictures or videos you want on there, and then just plug it in the bag. Once you plug it in, it's going to play automatically. You could set it to play all your videos only in a loop, or you could set it to play the pictures only, or you could do a mixture. So it is very easy to use.
This is a good quality bag too, bro.
Right. So on the front, you can see that carbon hard shell, and that's just essentially to help protect the screen. But on the back, we have that Saffiano leather. So it's premium leather, so it's built to last. So
It's real leather?
Yes, real leather.
Genuine
like
real leather?
Real leather. Like the real.
Okay, so how you have leather, and then you have like leather ish.
Right.
This is real, actual leather.
This is real leather from cows.
Oh, wow. Okay, hold on one second. So I see we have, what's this?
On the inside, so that is the power bank right there. On a full charge, you can get up to 10 hours of use depending on what you're playing. And on the other side, you can see where I have the flash drive plugged in. And the third cord, that's where you can just plug into the power bank if you want to charge your phone. So if you're on the go, you can also charge your phone as well. So
so you charge it from here, not that power bank.
So well, that you're holding, you're gonna plug that into the power bank, and then if you look on the side,
yeah,
that's where you plug your phone in.
On the side of the bag.
Yeah, so on the flip side. Right there, yep.
Oh,
right.
So okay. So this right here, I'll open it.
It's from the bottom. It's brand new, so it's probably need a
okay.
little flip.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So there you could plug in like a USB or USB-C port, and just plug your phone in. So I really thought about as much thing as possible that the average user may need. For example, if you're walking around somewhere and
this is dope, bro.
Thank you.
Nah, this is fire, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. So if I'm advertising, I need to wear this joint every day or podcast summit with it like, yo, get your tickets.
That's right. That's right.
This is hard. Okay. All right. How much is the bag?
So at this moment, as we're speaking now, it's currently on pre-order for $4.99. However, it will go to $6.99, and that's going to be the retail price for it.
I like it. I agree with this, bro.
And also on the side you're looking at, you see it has the TSA lock.
Oh, I got the lock, yeah.
So if you have, any valuables in there, you're sitting your bag down, lock it up. No one can get in. It's all secured. And it's TSA approved as well. So if you're traveling, I know you'll be catching them flights pretty often. Yeah. So if you're traveling, it's TSA approved. Just walk your way through.
How'd you get the idea to build this, bro?
So this actually started two different models ago, which is back in 2020. Mm-hmm. Right actually when COVID was about to take over the world. I saw something similar, was, one of those LED belts. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this would be great if it could be on a backpack. So I did some research and I found something similar with just like an LED screen. I'm like, this has some potential. So I, went down that rabbit hole, did some research. I was able to get up the first product, which is an LED screen. So just a regular backpack with an LED screen. You could put like text on there, the pictures weren't showing too clearly. So we went back, we redesigned the bag itself, improved the style, which is the second version that we released. And then with that one, most of our customers, because we were pretty much pulled within the service space, or the entrepreneurial space. And they were saying, hey, we'd love to, play a video or display QR codes properly. So that's when we decided, it's time to up this thing again. And voila, this is what we came up with. So now with this, it's limitless. So whatever it is that you want to advertise, that's just what it's for. And it grabs attention everywhere you go. And I'm not just saying that because it's my product or anything. That's just what it does. Yeah. So I think this is even more perfect for someone that doesn't speak a lot. And, they're afraid to reach out to people at, for example, Podcast Summit. This will, whatever you have going on, you just put it on a bag. And that one person that might be looking for your service, be like, hey, you do this. And that's just what it does. It brings the attention to you.
Yeah. Yo, and I think I've seen a similar bag, but nothing near the quality of this, bro. Like this is really, really good quality.
Thank you.
I mean, heavy duty. This feel like a Louis bag. You know what I mean? Like that same vibe to it. It's not fake leather. This is like real sturdy. It's designed well, sleek. This is fire, bro.
Thanks. And the thing is, we put a lot of work in this bag because for, I know for followers, anyone that's been, keeping up with us for the past, so in February of this year, we sold out of the previous bag. And ever since then, we've been working on this. So this was actually supposed to be released in March, but the designs that we received, it wasn't up to par. So just from a branding standpoint, I decided to make a sacrifice. Instead of rushing to the market with something, I wanted to make sure it's perfect. So we went back and we redesigned, and this is the finished product. So everything that you see on there, from the zipper to the leather, everything is premium material.
Wow. And that power bank charges the whole thing, correct?
Correct.
And let's say, for instance, you're going somewhere longer and you need it for, I don't know, 20 hours, you can just get another power bank.
Yeah, just get another power bank.
Got it. Congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
I think you're gonna be really, really successful. Do you have any investors?
So at the moment, no. It's currently owned and financed 100% by myself.
You don't have a partner?
My partner is my wife, Marisa. Okay. Yes.
How much money have you put into this?
To date, the branding overall, we have invested upwards of, I say, $250,000.
Really?
Since we've started, yes.
Yikes!
So it's been a journey.
Are you in the negative, or are you above ground now?
So right now we are just starting to essentially go positive. So, but the thing is, for us, we've just been focused on just continuing to reinvest in the business. So we're just looking at that standpoint of we're just on a journey to take it to somewhere where this could be a product that is seen everywhere you go, and not only used by entrepreneurs, but anyone that also wants to make a second income. Because where we want to take this is, if you're going to school, if you're someone to commute, that maybe take a bus or the train somewhere, you could use this to advertise for others while you're going about your daily life. So that's essentially where we envision of taking it. So right now, everything that we're making essentially is just going back in the business to develop the future models and so on. So that's just
so like, let's say, for instance, like one music fest is coming out. It's gonna be 100,000 people there.
Right.
There's somebody that could get this bag and say, "Hey, I'll walk around with this on my back. Your advertisement, give me $500, $1,000, whatever, and I'll just walk around and advertise for you. You create the graphics, eye catches, and you might be able to do that for $1,000 for 3 hours. You there 12 hours.
Right.
That's a bag right there.
And that's the thing is, so like, as it relates to making the decision, as it relates to how we present the bag, we thought about offering a rental aspect of it, but we wanted
like
to
renting an Uber car.
Right. So we wanted to offer to where, hey, if you're going somewhere, if you just wanted to rent it for a while, you can rent it. But we've decided to let others rent it themselves. So we want to literally just make it a source of income for others. So let's say for one music fest or invest fest or any event, you could purchase 5, 10 of the bags and just promote that, hey, I have 5 or 10 of these bags and I could promote for you all throughout the event. So we want to use it to help others create a source of income. So we're giving them the opportunity to do so instead of us renting it.
That's hard, bro.
Thank you.
Yo, you need a business partner? Y'all need a business partner? I bet we're gonna have a conversation.
With the right pitch, we could have a conversation about that.
I like that. This conversation was only supposed to be 5 minutes. It was 10. Which shows I really, really like this. This is fire. Yo, man, congratulations, man. Tell everybody how they can get in touch with you and how they can get a bag.
Right. So the bags are available at mylimelight.com. That is spelled MYLIMELITE.com. Mylimelight.com. That is also our Instagram or TikTok page, and also on YouTube. So you can follow us on Instagram at mylimelight. That's where you can, message us. You can also message us directly from the website. If you have any questions about the product, we respond within the next 15 minutes at most. So that's where you reach us, mylimelight.com, Instagram, mylimelight.
I love it, man. Make sure y'all follow this brother. I think he's doing phenomenal work. And I just love somebody that has a really good idea, creative idea, and they're actually executing and putting your own skin in the game. So by the next time y'all see this, I'll be a partial owner as well. So, but yo, congratulations, man, to you and your wife. Y'all are doing some amazing things. Thank you for taking time to put quality into products. I love when we have quality products and we're not cutting corners. So, congratulations and much success to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Let's get back to the episode, man. If you like this episode, like, subscribe, share this with somebody. All right, let's get it. All right. So you are running promotions for a party, which this should be inspirational to any like club promoter or party promoter, because it's cool to just watch the progression. Mm-hmm. But walk me through like the idea of One Music Fest and how we start bringing people together.
Right.
And who's not here anymore? Because this is what I know. Mm-hmm. There was somebody a part of it. that's just not here anymore. And I don't know it for a fact, but typically when you build something big, there's some people that are there and some people just can't get to that altitude. Is that, am I right or am I wrong?
We don't want to say the person's name.
I know it though. I understand this stuff.
Honestly, I mean, there are some people that have been a part in earlier moments for a period of time. And I'm not saying they couldn't turn the page, but you know, I think as you grow, you kind of seek other. I mean, it's no different than a franchise team. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you're like, you know, I got to shift out this point guard. Yeah. You know what I mean? But as far as like someone that was there from the ground that kind of helped build it, that we just kind of walked away from, I don't think so, man. Like, you know, the crazy thing. Are we live?
Yeah.
The crazy thing is,
if I get real passionate,
I'm just saying the crazy thing is about most of the people on our team. Yo, we've been working with them for like damn near 2 decades. So I mean, Motown uses the word a lot, family. We all use the word family, but yo, like, we've been blessed, bro. Yeah. When I say like just being able to kind of like, as even like intersections, as people come into our lives and we kind of bring them into the tribe and the fold, and being able to work with them for a long period of time. Some people have outgrown us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got some people, you know, our social media guy has gone on to work at Turner and Adult Swim and grown their platform. And, you know, one of my younger mentees, Jabari, shout out to Jabari with Our Beats and Lyrics, is now a national brand. So, I mean, there's some people that, you know, outgrown mentorship. Yeah. And so I can't say we turned our back on anybody or we kind of kicked them off the boat.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just, I want to get there. Maybe they don't believe in your direction. They're like, yo, I just need to go a different direction because I don't see your plan working the way I think it should work.
I would say more corporate. I would say there was people that I presented the concept too early that was like, that shit ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work, you know. But the crazy thing is, it was people that didn't look like us. Yeah. Right. It was our lesser hue, right? That because I didn't know shit about festivals, you know. So putting it together, I was like, I need some corporate backing, you know. I need some cover, and presented it to some of these folks, and they literally was just like, I don't think black folks will attend an event like this. Man. They actually said black folks would rather buy a concert ticket, sit in a chair for 2 hours, than go home. They're not gonna brave the elements and run back and forth to stages and all this different kind of music. And it's like, that ain't gonna work.
What year is the first one?
2010.
2010.
I started pitching in 2008.
Started pitching companies to help you with this vision for 2 years before it actually happened. Okay. Well, you got the idea. Take me through each call with the people that's on this couch.
Well, after you get all those no's, you know, you really start looking lateral.
So first you're like, I got this idea, let me just go to corporate. And then you started bringing people more into the fold of the idea.
So I'm a true Gemini, right? And sometimes it's difficult for us to ask for help. So also, it's very difficult for us to ask people for help and put them in a precarious position where they could possibly lose money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit weighs heavy with us.
You don't want to ask Steve, like, yo, put up $100,000 with me, because he might lose his money.
He could lose his money.
Yeah.
Right? So it was one of those, all right, well, because Soul Fusion, we actually used to call the Robin Hood of our culture, because we were doing corporate deals then, right? So Heineken was one of our clients back in 2002. We had a deal with Minnie, with Vibe magazine. We had a couple of different corporate deals we were doing. So they would sponsor all of our events, right, for the most part. So I leaned in for corporate support there. But when we talk about like the AEGs and the Live Nations and those big outfits, you know, I needed their help in producing a festival because there were no black people producing festivals like this at this time. They just weren't. So I needed some direction. So then I had to tap onto the Bonnaroo folks, and I had to look over here at the Lollapalooza folks and get some insight from them. And then, you know, all the information they gave me just was like, you know, disheartening shit. Like, it's going to take 5 years to build a brand. You're going to lose $2 million. You got $2 million to lose. Don't do it. And I was like, oh my God, these motherfuckers are crazy.
Give me the edited version. You've been doing good so far.
So I said,
just the uncursed version.
Okay.
You've been doing good.
Let me edit. So after a while, you start looking left and right. You know what I'm saying? So I had friends that were in production. I had friends that that knew sound and lighting. I had friends that owned transportation businesses. I had friends in the music industry that know artists, and you know, I had friends that do a little bit of booking. So I said, all right, let's kind of piecemeal this thing together. You know, let's do it ourselves, right? And so everybody just kind of had their lanes and their verticals, right? You know, so Motown got the call like, bro, you know, we gonna book some artists, you know. I just need you to be close, you know. We don't really know what we're doing, so let's build this ship as we push off. So, you know, with regard to Steve, the same thing you said earlier. Like, I remember the day I met Steve. Like, he literally, I was working with Sherry Knox, who was one of our sponsors for a few of our events. Steve came into town, came to one of the events. Just a warm dude that just wanted to help, which for folks like me is like, what you up to?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You want something. You can't be just this helpful.
But then we just kind of kept building from there, and it really came a true friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, two of these guys in this room are like godfathers of my kids.
Wow.
You know? So we started building from there. He said, yo, let me help support you with some of this corporate stuff. He had background with agencies as well, so he could help in that space as well. So I said, all right, cool, let's do this. And then as Troy and I got introduced, the digital era just started exploding. And that was his main background. You know, digital marketing, promotions, building digital brands. And it just worked, you know? I mean, there's many of people I came across with that I was like, can't work with you. Yeah. You know, energy just ain't right. Yeah. But nah, we all really just kind of linked and synced, and it just really connected and worked.
That's dope. First year. So y'all two were a part of the first year.
Us too.
Oh, just y'all. So you weren't a part of first year, Steve?
I was a part of it.
You were a part, but you weren't like.
Yeah, from that side.
Gotcha.
On the brand side.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
And what year did you come in?
5 or 6.
5 or 6? Yeah. How many people did you have it the first year?
Maybe 2,500.
2,500. How many people did you want to have it the first year? Like, what was the idea?
Maybe 6,000 we were trying to go for.
Yeah.
6,000? Mm-hmm. Fell short?
Absolutely.
Lost money?
Absolutely.
The guys that said it was going to take 5 years, were they right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It took 5 years to turn the corner, man.
We made a lot of mistakes in those first years. Like,
bring Mike a little closer.
We made a few mistakes, like timing mistakes. Like, the first year was like the hottest day of the year, and it was in a parking lot, so it was nothing but asphalt, and it rained like in the middle of the festival. So everything that could have happened then. But to
what time of the year was it?
July.
June. Yeah, July.
Okay.
In Atlanta, bro. I knew nothing about festivals, bro. July in the middle of summer in a parking lot. But there was some inspiring moments.
Yeah.
Man. Like, I would say Maceo from De La Soul. He was like, bro, this is because again, this is 10. There wasn't really no outdoor festivals like this. Dave Chappelle Block Party, I got a lot of inspiration from as well. But he's like, man, this is black. And to find out that it's all black people doing it and it's organized like this, man, he said, man, I salute y'all, man. You can't find stuff out here like this. And I was like, damn, man, we may really have something. So Maceo kind of put a little charge in our back too. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man.
we to And I'll toot our horn. Like, it's something he said about festivals and black people. We actually train people to know what a festival was. Up until One Music Fest, black people didn't know. Like, Essence is an amazing festival, but there's seats. So
it's more of an expo.
Moving,
Gotcha.
So to have like the moving pieces, different stages, different activations all throughout the day of moving, like black folks wasn't used to that. They used to, okay, I got this concert ticket, I got a seat, I know where I'm sitting, I got to figure this out. Now you got to figure it out, move around, and it was like, hey, like, what is this?
So festivals give me,
what's over? Oh, such and such a brand is over there, or there's a roller skating rink over there. Oh, there's this, like it's an exploration. It's a
and they don't get it twisted. It wasn't smooth sailing today. You still had people that complain like, hey, why I gotta go way over here to see this act and come over here? Like, I need my seat. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wasn't used to that. So
what was the most prominent festival at that point? Was it like Woodstock and stuff like that? Is that where we're drawing inspiration from?
Bonnaroo was
Coachella.
around. Coachella.
Yeah. Coachella. How long Coachella been going on?
Yeah, Coachella been around for about 20
I found out about Coachella when it was Beachella. You know what I mean? Like from Beyonce.
Yep.
But that was like the inspiration of a festival outside, bunch of different stages, which got to be super scary, bro, because you can't dictate what day of the year it's going to rain.
That's right.
You're right.
That's right.
right.
I mean, the daunting thing, honestly, was just the expense of putting it on. You know,
What did it call? Do you remember the cost of the first year?
the cost of the first year. Oof. Maybe 300. Maybe
300,000.
maybe 300.
That's outside. I mean, it's not like you got to rent a venue, but you still got to rent out the parking lot, I suppose.
Right. Well, shit. Yeah.
It's the staging and everything. Like, you have to bring in you have to build everything.
But yeah. But I mean, your today, like your security bill could be $500,000 easily.
Security.
Security,
security.
Fencing could be $400,000.
Absolutely.
So I don't think people really realize. And then, you know, and I would ask people randomly, like, how much do you think this artist costs? I don't know, $25,000, $30,000. I'm like, this artist costs $1.5 million. Do you understand? So they be like, well, why your tickets cost X? Who gonna pay for this? Who gonna pay for this? Right? So it was really looking at but the inspiration truly came from when you go to a Bonnaroo, it is community. Like like you are attached.
It's called Bonnaroo. I never heard of that. Bonnaroo?
Yeah.
Bonnaroo.
I've never heard of it.
No, Bonnaroo's a monster.
I don't even go outside, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It's in Tennessee?
Pull up in RVs, sleep in an RV, car,
Hundreds, thousands of people.
Outside
What?
Land. You ever heard of Outside Lands?
No.
Bonnaroo's bigger than
I heard of Fire Festival.
Yeah,
I heard of that. I heard of Coachella. I heard of like Woodstock. They still do Woodstock?
Bonnaroo's bigger than Coachella.
Really?
Yeah.
Leave me alone now.
Yeah.
Bonnaroo. You been to Bonnaroo? You heard of Bonnaroo?
I have not actually, but
Yeah.
I know that they weren't still doing Woodstock.
100,000 people
Easily.
sleeping in RVs?
Oh, yeah.
I was there.
Outside,
I was one of
kicking
them.
Really?
Yeah. it's
What's
real.
going on there?
It's just
Everything.
fun. Like you're just living. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's caring about nothing but enjoying music, food, and each other.
Wow. I'm going to
And
look
you
that
will
up.
meet some of your best friends. I promise you. We get at least a story or two a year of people saying, I met my wife or my spouse or my husband at your event. So there's community that happens, right, at a festival. There's a lot of intersections that happen when you put 100,000 people in one space with music, food, merchants, and culturally relevant activations. And you're spending 12 hours or 11 or 10 hours a day outside with these people. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's you know, Dead Prez, my man's one of his favorite groups. When music hits, you feel no pain.
Yeah.
Right? But so there's a connectivity to certain songs and music. Like you can be standing shoulder to shoulder with somebody and have tears streaming down your face, and they feeling damn near the same thing you feel. I have no idea who you are. Yeah. I have no idea your experience. But right now we are connected, right? So that kind of connectivity in our culture is hard to find, right? So when I saw that festival for the first time, I was like, we need this. We need this. We got to figure out how to build something, right? And don't let it be a money grab or trying to be some cool dudes doing let it be real. Let it be. So that's where the name came from, One Music Fest. That's where Twogetherland comes from. It's about connectivity. It's about unity. It's about, and I'll share another story. Like one of the venues we used back in 2013, I had to pitch it to these guys. Like, yo, we want to do a festival. It's going to be hip hop. It's going to be R&B. It's going to be da-da-da. And you could see the apprehension from them at first. And but I kept selling them. I told them about the brands. I would bring the brands in. They was like, okay, I can tell you had some corporate training. He's structured. Let's try it. And they did it. And so during the festival, of course, they throwing back some beers and they feeling good. And dude was like, Jay, this is very different than what I expected. I said, well, I told you what it was. I mean, what'd you expect? And then I saw him stumbling for words, white dude, stumbling for words, trying to figure out how he was gonna say it. And then he just said it. He's like, I mean, it's not ghetto.
Dang.
I said,
golly.
So at that point, he put another battery in my back. I said, you think anything hip hop or black
is ghetto.
Is just gonna be ghetto by default. Our audience is anything but that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It truly is a kumbaya-ish moment.
I can see him trying to find a word. What other word would he come up with, right? So I can kind of see it in my head. And that's crazy.
That is crazy.
But you see that resonate through everything that we do.
Yeah.
Right? It's untapping the potential of who we are as a people for the world to experience.
Yeah.
Right? Everything that we do, it leads with that, because I was in those corporate meetings. I heard the conversations. I know how they think about us. That's why I have to leverage the machine's dollar for them to see it. The key to it all as well is they don't even realize that's growth within their business. The more they tap into who we are truly and invest in that, the return is ridiculous for their bottom line.
Now, what are these companies saying about about consumers? What do they say? I mean, they have to be appreciative because we buy their stuff, right? But like, you've been in those offices and heard those conversations. What are some of the things that you hear and you bring it back and say, all right, fellas, we got to make sure that they're not right about this part?
One thing is they don't think we have the potential to perform at a high level because of experience, and we're loyal to who we are and what we want. Right?
What do you mean?
So if certain products or brands, we're going to be loyal to them, so they won't take a chance on us because they don't think we'll try something else. As an example, we're known to love Hennessy. So a lot of brands within that cognac space won't even try because they think we won't try another brand.
We love some Hennessy though, Steve.
We do, but they
ain't lied about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. So we love us some Hennessy.
So let me say this, right? Here's the thing that I think is not that we haven't touched on when we talk about our audience, and it's the term that Jay we talked about from the beginning. And that we tell people about all of our properties, right? Everything that we program is that we tell everybody that we are progressive urban. That's right. We tell our people, you are progressive urban.
That's right.
Right? Like, it's like you have to tell a king he's a king. You got to tell a queen she's a queen. Right? And we tell these brands who you're dealing with. Right? So we're telling the brands, we're telling our audience, we're telling everybody, you are progressive urban. Just like he said, the clear person that he was speaking to said ghetto. No, we're not ghetto. You are progressive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. For sure.
So now when we're talking to not just the spirits brands, but the consumer brands, now when they understand, okay, this audience is progressive.
Yeah.
This audience does have a household in HHI. This audience is college educated. They do have MBAs. They do have families, right? They do have moms, dads, children's, right? Children that are going to schools and that have aspirations, so forth and so on. It is a progressive audience.
For sure.
Right? They are voting all the things, right?
Well, let me ask this question, though. When we say they, are we talking about a select group of us? So, for instance, when they say to you, hey, black people, it sounds crazy saying it, but black people love Hennessy and they're not going to try something else, right? Well, if your rebuttal is, no, we do try, we are progressive and we will abandon the thing that we came to love from a product and try something else. Are we talking about that's the generality of us, or are we saying I know how to get a segment to pull away?
You have to, well, everything that you lead with insights, right? And you have to break that down deeper because we're not monolithic, right? We all don't think the same and like the same thing.
For sure.
So you have to introduce that to corporate so they can understand that some people drink Hennessy, but your portfolio, some people drink champagne, some people drink wine, and that impacts your bottom line because you can make a broader investment across the span, right? And what typically happens is we'll always get a smaller budget to test into the market to see the return and how it comes without taking a chance.
Yeah.
Like I remember having, a $2 million budget to do a national tour with Damon John, right? And the return in the numbers, they haven't seen that in like 20 years.
Wow.
Where they'll invest in the NHL, which we love the NHL, they'll invest $20 million and get a quarter of the return of what we did, but we'll continuously do that.
Yes.
But we have to go year after year after year after year showing them that, right? And then that big investment comes, but it's 10 years later. Instead of somebody else who may have that idea and they believe in that consumer and will invest $5 million right away.
Right.
Yeah.
With no return, and it's all right, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the battles we have to deal with.
Dang.
But insights is key, right? Is if you have that information, you can package it and sell it and now get in front of it, whether they make that initial investment because they're like, oh, yeah, actually, he's thinking about this, right?
Yeah.
Because the big issue that would happen, especially in the A, right, is like, all right, I have 10,000 people coming to my event, so any brand should come and sponsor this event because I have 10,000 people.
Right.
No, those 10,000 people might not like soda. They might not like chips. So that's not your audience. So you're going to sell this dream to a brand and that event's going to flop because they're not getting the return they want. And all they're going to do is see. Instead of saying, hey, this is my audience and being strategic with the brands you actually go after.
Yeah.
Because you can tell the story of why that brand should support you because this audience loves this brand, your portfolio, whatever it is. And now that's a perfect marriage.
And we're also showing them with the data, this is who you think your audience is, but this is who they really are. Right. So in the upfront, we're showing them social listening and audience intelligence. Right. And showing them that, listen, One Music Fest it's not an Atlanta festival. To your point, you in your intro, you said people are coming from all over the world. So we're showing them that, hey, we don't want to talk to you as the local brand manager. We want to talk to the national brand team. Why? Because this is a national and global event. So don't give us local brand dollars. Give us the national brand dollars that you would put towards a national program. Because we'll show you the data that says 50% of the people, right? Yes, they may be from the Atlanta DMA or from Georgia, but the rest of the 50% are from all over the country and the globe. So apply to us those national brand dollars because we have the data to support it.
I think I got it.
And then also it's understanding your value. So even back to the question you asked earlier, like, are there people that that you walked away from? We walked away from brands, right?
Amen.
So I think there's, and prior to One Music Fest, right, and doing the events and doing the social activations for these brands, I would see them cut for, it'd be 150 people in attendance, general market event, and they'll cut a check for $300,000, right? We'll have a massive event with massive reach, thousands of people, and it'll be like, we got $25,000 for you. What are we doing? And then also, you know, it's putting a value on your audience and culture and community as well, right? I mean, far too often they don't realize, like, we are the trendsetters. Yeah. We are pop culture.
For sure.
If you were to take black people out of America, my God, what would it look like? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, even, you know, before TVs were in cars and the rims, right? That's hood, that's ghetto. Now it's your entertainment package.
That's true. That's true.
But you can connect.
We're like the first ones to put a TV in a car. I'm almost positive.
Absolutely.
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 We put 22s in the car. Now my Tesla just comes with 22s. But that was a thing that we did.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
So
that's
like you
culture.
had your creators that were on TikTok that was like boycotting TikTok for a minute because what were they doing? Like folks that, if you started a dance and somebody else may do the dance that don't look like you, you know what I'm saying? They'll push this one up and kind of suppress you, and you're, you know what I'm saying? You're not a part of the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, for us, it was also, we got to put our culture on a bigger stage for people. We got to make so much noise that you can't ignore us, right? And we're going to do it in such a button-up, dope way that the peon checks that you want to invest in our community, that ain't gonna work over here now. That ain't gonna work. You know, we walked away from a few brands last year that were with us earlier on, but I was like, who Fat Joe said it best, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's a different day now,
Yeah.
right? We're reaching way more people. It's a more impactful platform. And invest in the people, invest in the culture if you want to be a part of it. And they don't cut the checks, and we just have to be like, you know what? You know, we'll find other brands that are willing to work with our culture and our people.
And we inherently, again, it goes back to the data, right? We understand the value of our data and our community, right? Right. We were listening to you all earlier. You were talking with the African American females, right? Your partner earlier, right? Do you know who they really understand now? Who's the fastest growing consumer segment of entrepreneurs in the country? African American women.
Whose phone is that? Using your bag. Do your thing, man.
African American women are the fastest growing segment of entrepreneurs, period, across the board, right? But brands also know that. So the BMW 5 Series, right? That's who they're targeting. More than general market. They're targeting African American women for that car.
Wow. Yo, I'm starting to understand finally all the stuff that Steve tells me. Yeah, first off, I sent him a bunch of little decks that I think is dope. He's like, nah, that ain't it, that ain't it, that ain't it. I'm like, Steve, what's up with you, man? So he'll be telling me all that. And I do an event, and I think most people that do events do the event because we want the people to have an amazing experience and we're doing something special. What I'm hearing from you all is the number one thing you're focused on is the data. Obviously having an experience, but the gathering of data is the only thing they care about versus, I'm thinking, for my podcast summit, I'm thinking we have a bunch of sponsors. It's a very targeted group of people, podcasters, people who are talking to large audiences. I'm thinking that many people, it should be lit. This year, we'll have 12 to 1,500. I'm like, yo, why am I having such a hard time talking to the same people that are sponsoring events that aren't even the same market, but aren't half as fly, half as exciting, none of that. But I'm understanding that they probably have the numbers.
It's numbers, and it's also a game. It's politics. It's relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, the power of networking is very important, because somebody will cut a check and invest in a platform that's not as fly, that's not as great, doesn't give you the return because of a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So, but to your other point, you know, understanding that when you're in a market, you can still do the event and just do it, but you have to live with the results and be okay with that. It's just like saying living in your comfort zone, right? You can live in your comfort zone, but you can't be mad at the people who get out of their comfort zone, right? So from a business perspective, you can do the event, right, and not pay attention to insights and data, but you have to deal with what comes with that. You're gonna have to focus more on ticket sales to impact your bottom line. If you want to get into the game of having corporate partners and investors and people to actually buy into your idea and your thought and grow it, you have to take a step back and look at your business and really detail the insights and data. And you have to provide that to those people, because those people want a return. Whether it's an audience, a growth in audience, a growth in bottom line, they want growth. They're not doing it just to give out the money, especially if it's a new relationship.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. All right, and how many people do y'all have at One Music Fest now? Around about
attending?
Yeah, attending.
About 100,000
people.
100,000 people from 2,500
on a hot parking lot.
Right.
That was fly though. You didn't even ask who performed.
Who performed? Who performed on the parking lot in the rain?
F1 was Joy, Common, De La Soul,
Guapale. That was it, really, for the most part.
What was the average person charging to perform back then?
The average they were
like. What you think Common charged back then?
Oh, I know what he charged. I paid him.
What was it back then?
I think we paid Common like 50 or 60.
50 back. Ooh, Common's getting 50 back then.
But you gotta remember,
Common was when B came out.
This was red hot.
Common was on Common at that.
Yeah, Common killed it though.
Okay, what I mean, did that number scare you at the point though? Like, were you thinking 50,000?
Yo, I've never spent 50,000 on an artist. Nah. So yeah, it scared the crap out of me.
Do you remember year 2?
Yeah.
Who was it?
What do you mean? As far as
who were the performers?
The lineup.
Oh, Farside.
It was
Anthony
Michelle was the headliner.
Chrisette Michelle. Yeah. Foreign Exchange.
You know the crazy part
Foreign
about
Exchange.
that? Where the performance happened.
Year 2. Where was it?
Piedmont Park, but in the restaurant part, like the back little area.
Park
to today taking over the actual park.
Wow.
So talk about full circle.
Second year, in just the area where the restaurants are in Piedmont Park. How many people was there? Year 2, do you know? Remember?
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
Maybe
so incremental growth.
Every year it grew.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but like we were thinking, okay, 6,000 first year, we have 2,500. I'm sure we're shooting for 6,000 again, right? Second year, and then we get 3,000. And you lost money that year as well.
Every year.
Why do we keep doing it if we losing money But hold on, is it the sponsors sponsor it? So on the sponsorship part, how much do you around about? And I know this was years ago.
You said every year, like every year losing money every year
for 5 years.
Oh yeah,
just the first 5 years, yeah. But do you remember how much you were able to get in those earlier years from sponsors
to sponsor the platform?
Yeah,
it was a bucket of different brands. You know what I'm saying? So you want at least to make up at least half of that. You know what I'm saying of the cost. You want it all, obviously. Yeah. You know, but it's not as easy because you're selling an idea that they might not believe in.
But it gets easier and easier each year once you can show them what happened the last couple of years, and this is going to happen this year.
It'd go up and down, honestly, man. Yeah, some years you get a decent amount, and some years it dropped, and some years it goes up, and some years it drops, and it was a seesaw game.
So even right now, y'all can't get comfortable in saying One Music Fest, it's going to be 100,000 people, no matter what we do. You still got to do the work to bring the people out.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because you have some that win and some that may want more. You know what I'm saying? So every year, that's the conversation, right? If a brand comes on for the first time and they have a product and they want to sell that product, right? You have to show that return. So they might not come back the next year. And then another brand may say, hey, they're not here, but we have this new product within this new innovation product within that space. And maybe your audience may gravitate towards that. And maybe they do. And it's the best thing. Yeah. So what works for one brand might not work for another. So every year it's a conversation until you get to that sweet point of everybody winning consistently. And they're like, I'm good. Like, we're going to carve this out for years.
Right. But there's a floor to touch our people, though, now. Let's just be clear. You can't just... We're not taking anything.
Yeah, for sure. There's for sure a floor.
What Jay said, yesterday's price ain't today's price. But that was work to get to that point. It ain't happened just out the box. That's 15 years of work.
Yeah. When we so Motown, are you over like artist acquisition?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Give me like your thought process when we start figuring out who's gonna headline, who are like the mix and the blend. What are you thinking through?
So we have it's like a committee. You know what I mean? And it's a bunch of us, different ages, different backgrounds. And we look at a lot of different things. Who people want to, number one, who people want to see, who people are gonna buy tickets to see. Number two, really number one, money. Because some people, because, every year people be like, book Beyonce. I'm like, yeah, okay. If we book Beyonce, we're not going to have any other artists on.
It'll be we just don't. The Beyonce show.
So the budget comes into play.
I'm sorry, real quick. Has Beyonce actually given you all a number? Because I'm sure you reach out.
You don't reach out to Beyonce.
No?
Beyonce reach out to you. You know what I'm saying?
Like she don't got some people like, yo, how much is it to book Beyonce?
I won't throw a number out there.
Has she ever over the years given you a number?
No. It's Beyonce is the whole. She's the holy grail. Like she is. But the problem with booking, not the problem, because the Beehive will attack me. But the thing that comes when you base your festival around talent, then it becomes a hopeless race, right?
I don't understand.
Meaning, if you book Beyonce this year, I can't catch that again, right? It's lightning in you know what I'm saying? It's catching lightning in your hand, right? You can't. So now where do you go?
Yeah.
Now where do you go after you have Beyonce? You know what I'm saying? Beyonce is Thanos. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You put Beyonce, it's like like you can't do anything the following year to compare.
I don't know if I agree. Well, I wouldn't know, but you still, for what people want the vibe, and it's not. So at Togetherland, y'all had Lil Wayne. He don't do nothing. He don't go outside. He don't you can't just go to a Lil Wayne concert regularly, right? So, for Dallas, y'all had Mr. Carter.
We work relationships and we try to, we'll have these ideas. Again, you're dealing with two of us are Geminis. Mine's going to be rolling. So to our, we've kind of made some kind of impossible moments happen that even we dog. Like, for instance, Dungeon Family. It literally came from, we sitting who we going to get? And let's get Dungeon. Let's try Dungeon Family.
Yeah.
It's never happened before. After 20 years, we had 3 6 Mafia hadn't performed together in 20 years. It's let's make a call. Let's see if it'll work. So we've tried, we've done those things. We have I won't call it, it's not. We have a music festival where it's secular music, and we was let's throw Kirk Franklin on there. And Kirk Franklin became a highlight One Music Fest moment.
He crushed
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like the blend though. He's like the
Amazing entertainer.
Yeah, 100%. And he can entertain anybody.
But what made it better was that he went on right after the locks.
Really?
Yeah.
Motown.
That's what made it better.
For the people who might not know who is a part of the Dungeon family, share who you know,
Oh, Dungeon
touched that
family
stage.
out. So that year, I mean, Outkast, and I think it was the last time Outkast has been on stage together.
What's that year? Do you remember?
Was it 16?
It was
16.
Yeah.
2016.
That ain't the first time in 20 years. The last like grand opening, grand closing.
That was the last time Dre and Big Boy performed on stage together.
Yeah.
Wow. Y'all got moments in history.
Absolutely.
Oh,
But I
people
think
were
that's
crying.
yeah. Oh, it was grown men out there crying. Like if you're from Atlanta, born and raised, when you saw it, you realized what it was. You saw what it was. You know what I'm saying? From Lil Will to Goody Mob to T.I. hopping on stage and Dre coming out of. Dog, it was a moment, man. It was an Atlanta moment. It was a cultural moment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one year it was before Usher did his run in Vegas. You know, it was Usher on stage with Pharrell, with Lil Jon, with who else jumped on stage?
Luda. That was the
Luda-
first time
Luda
they had
didn't-
done.
No, Luda didn't.
That wasn't Luda.
But
Young Blood.
it was so it was like moments like that you would never see at a concert, a show, a festival. You'll see, like, we curate something for our culture so that you walk away with lifelong memories.
Yeah.
That we can sit
I
around.
mean,
8
last
years
year we
later and
had,
still talk about it.
it was the first time Cole and Janet performed their record together.
J. Cole hopped on stage with Janet Jackson last year. So it's that's what we try to give as well. So, you know, so when you look at the ticket price and when you say, what makes you so different, it's that.
Yeah,
I
I think you said something earlier that was to it as well, right? Yes, talent is a major key, and if you get a Beyonce, what's next, right? But I think what people believe in the brand is the experience and the moments, as Jay described, right? But in general, just doing a festival or a concert, you can't really top a Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna rack your brains internally of how am I gonna do better.
Yeah.
But for us, the experience is what people come to enjoy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when Jay talks about people getting engaged, the experiences of the food, you know, all the brand activations is not just, hey, come be a partner of ours. It's this is our threshold and expectation.
Yeah.
So when you show up, you got to show up as a brand.
Yeah.
So when you come and you see Bevel have 3 barbers giving haircuts, you got a DJ spinning, you got a crown chair and people taking pictures. You got, you know, Mael, you know, in there doing people's hair, taking pictures. You know, you got brands that are there activating. You got the Sprite stage, you know what I'm saying? And their activation in addition to the stage.
Right.
Like you're coming to
BT,
experience
roller skating
that.
rink, like
roller
that.
skating rink. The U.S. Virgin Islands had a whole carnival. People on stilts, they had DJs from the Caribbean.
Last
all
one Music Fest?
Yeah, all within the
Golly.
footprint. So you have all these engagements and experiences. But when you go back to what Jay was talking about with Soul Fusion, like you go to a Soul Fusion event, it wasn't you just going to just party. Like on stage, they had, you know, you're going to have an actual drummer drumming with a DJ and you're vibing with your best friends and you're meeting new people. So that's what it's rooted in, that experiential. And that's what we all come from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being a corporate, not experiential is it. You know, so having that belief of what it is, unity through music, that's what you're experiencing. You're experiencing unity with people that you may not have ever known or met, you know, through and through. So that's a big part of it. So to your point, yeah, it's the talent, but for us, it's the experience.
Gotcha. All right. Last couple questions. We'll wrap. What do we expect to spend on a production? Like this year, we got One Music Fest coming up in October. What are we budgeting to spend?
Spend on production.
No, period. Like, what is the budget for putting this thing on?
M's.
Deep in it. Let's 8 figures deep in it.
No.
Not a number.
M's.
Yeah.
M's.
8 figures to put it on?
Absolutely.
M's. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a big bet.
Absolutely. But we're betting on us.
Yeah.
Right? We're betting on 15 years of growth, of research, of data, of partnerships with brands that we've built from, dude, I mean, 20 years of building brand relationships and trust with brands. I mean, we absolutely could not do it without some of our corporate partners. We absolutely couldn't do it without some of our political relationships, you know? So when we say we're in the community, we're in the community. Like, we are building these relationships, you know, and we're fighting for us every single day. You know what I'm saying? So to start a business and lose money for 5 years straight, I ain't doing this the guap, you know, I'm trying to, you know, have some mansion on the hill. Yeah. Like, we're literally feeding and building something for the community to also build a better representation of what some of these brands think about Black culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is behind closed doors. When we're in these offices, man, we are fighting for dollars and to get the Still, absolutely. For some of the money that some of these other festivals get, there is no outdoor multi-stage Black hip hop R&B festival in America with 100,000 people.
Grand opening, grand closing.
There is none. We are it, right? And we still got to fight and prove ourselves.
That's crazy, man.
Insane, right? So Beyonce, if you're watching,
come on home. Come home.
Come on home. Come home. Oh my gosh. Okay. Do you already know who's? I don't know if you released it yet, but headlining this year or
Couple weeks.
Okay. Y'all can tell me after we turn the cameras off, because I'm interested in that. And I'll just take this opportunity to tell y'all don't traditionally do a podcast stage, right? Can we do one this year? Can we do like the Social Proof podcast stage?
Let's find some brands. It's worth it.
Let's find some brand. I like how you think.
Yeah, find somebody to pay for it. Why not, right?
Let's find some brands. Okay, and this is my last question, seriously. So for my events, I just come out of my pocket, right? And it's not 8 figures, but it's a few hundred. And then I try to get sponsors to give me some money to help me recoup. And, you know, we sell tickets and stuff like that. The way you all started, do you wait for the brands to give money first, or y'all got to come out of your own pocket?
The way we started?
Like for this year, right? Is it like, are we even at this level, do we still have to put the money out first and then try to get it back? Or are we like at a point where we can start pulling money together from the sponsors to cover all this stuff?
We have some multi-year agreements with some brands, but we do start off with some commitments. But it's also, you know what I'm saying, you move by faith. You know, we know for certain that we're going to get some brands involved at this point. Yeah. The brands that were involved last year, they all, for the most part, want to come back. So, you know, initially you are, you know, it is an outlay of your own cash, and then the sponsors just kind of come on board. But we do move with commitments already in pocket, in hand.
And understanding that the dynamic, you know, a lot of brands won't come on board if they feel like their dollars is what's going to make it happen. They have to believe in you, that you believe that it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because if they have any feeling like, well, this might not happen if we don't give this investment, you're most likely not going to get those dollars. So you have to show that commitment of this is happening with you or without. You know, and that's where the faith part comes in. But we've built so many relationships within the space that people believe in us. It's like Damon John always tells me, he was like, when he's on, he doesn't invest in the product. He invests in people. So brands are investing in us because they know our background, they know our pedigree and what we deliver. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. All right, we need to go to lunch too, because I think we could put Podcast Summit into the One Venture Group family. You know what I mean? Like let's figure out how we can work together. Because y'all know something. I ain't gonna lie to y'all brothers know something out here. And I think I've been doing events for a while, and maybe it's my own brain. I can't break out of. It's hard for me even seeing that other people are going to pay for it. Other companies are going to pay for it. So I come out of my own pocket. I put all my deposits down, and I'm against the clock of I'm just outrunning my own money, trying to make sure that we have more ticket sales come in and some sponsors and give me some more money. And if we're short, I got to dig into my pocket again and do it again. But we're doing something so magical.
Yeah.
And I just think y'all really just know something. So.
David literally just entered into his own hot seat.
Yeah.
For sure. If we had time, I would have y'all put me in hot seat.
We did, because the three of us just looked at each other like we got questions for you. Yeah.
All right, we got to do a part 2. I know y'all got to leave, but man, thank y'all so much. This is so inspirational, man. Just the story and really how y'all come together and work together. I think we need more examples of us coming together as a community, because if one of those corporate offices said, yo, black people, they don't work together, they would be correct for the most part. Now we do have collections where we can come together, things that like pockets, but that is not one of our strong suits as a people. So I appreciate y'all keeping it black, keeping it unified, and it seems like all of y'all are on one page. Y'all all know your lane. I don't feel any ego from any of y'all. It's like about the mission. So man, I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, absolutely. Let's close it out with a word of wisdom. We'll come this way as well. So if you can close it out with a word of wisdom and tell everybody how they can connect with you.
Absolutely. Steve Canal. You can catch me on all platforms. My name's Steve Canal. And then you can catch, if you want to get a big picture of what we do, you can go to Team OVG, One Venture Group, teamovg.com. You can see both our worlds, right? The intellectual property side that we own, the consultancy agency side, working with brands like Foot Locker, Home Depot, P&G, and what we do on that side as well. So you get a better understanding of how we support the community and build those visions. But the biggest thing I can say is networking, right? Get out and meet people, right? Because doing it by yourself is hard, right? It's almost impossible to do it alone. You know what I'm saying? The more people you get to know and let people know what you're doing, the more doors and opportunities that open, because that person might not be able to help you, but they know the person that can. Yeah. And the more people you tell that vision, the better off you are with moving forward with what you're trying to accomplish. So if you keep it in, like, we're past the days of just keeping it in by yourself. Unless it gets to the real paper and you have to do NDAs, you have to meet people and know people in order to grow. So get out your box, get out your comfort zone, meet some new people, get uncomfortable, because that's gonna help push your vision forward.
Yeah, well said, well said. Troy, talk to me, my brother.
Yes, sir. Troy Brown, at Mr.TroyBrown, IG. Steve said he told you where to get at us, right? teamovg.com. Steve talked about the vision, but you need to write the vision down and make it plain. Right, so when somebody does meet you, you need to have written it down, know what you have to offer. But right, what are you studying? What are you putting inside so that it can come out properly, right? So how much time are you putting in, right? So whatever you're eating, it needs to come out of you, right? Because if I meet somebody, the networking is great, but I need to know immediately, like, what is there to offer, right? What time have you put in that field to know? For me to immediately say, oh yeah, I know how to use you, or I know where to place you, or I know who you should meet, so forth and so on, right? I need to know that there's been time put in, there's been effort, you've been digging, you've been studying, all those things. So, you need to put that time in, write it down, make it plain, and be prepared to have it come out in that 60, 90 seconds or whatever, so that I can see it immediately and know how it's applicable and where to place you.
Well said, well said. Appreciate it. Motown.
What up? Motown Lee. You can find me on all socials, MOETOWNLEE. And last word is, don't be afraid of the struggle. fear and faith cannot occupy the same space. And we work because we're a family, but we work because we have faith in each other. Like, I have faith that these guys are gonna, you know, pick me up where I slack. They have faith in me. I have faith in knowing that they know what they're doing even when I don't. And collectively, like, our whole team had faith in something that was Jay's dream.
Yeah.
That became part of us, and we're a family. So just to have faith and don't be afraid, man. Like, go after your dreams.
For sure.
You're gonna struggle sometimes, but just fight through it, man, and have faith. So.
Well said, my brother. Jay Carter, man. Yeah, man. Talk to me, brother. Let everybody know how to find you, and just give us a word of wisdom, man. And leave that hoodie. Just leave that here, my brother.
We'll
I need that.
You know, we're gonna get you a pack.
You need a pack. J Carterology. So just the letter J, Carter, OLOGY. Words of wisdom. I would say we got to do a better job of getting out of our own way. You know what I mean? You know, and for some people that's difficult, you know, but I think the turn changed when it was like, you know what, let me identify what I'm good at, and let me also identify what I'm not good at, right? And you bring people onto the team that shine in those areas where you're weakest, right? And let them do what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I would say get out of your own way, build your team. And I've learned more through failure than I have success, right? I think success also makes you a little content, you know what I'm saying? You know, everyone talks about, you know, the way Jay-Z rapped when he was younger versus how he raps now is too different. He rapped hungry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stay hungry. You know what I'm saying? So always know that there's always another notch up, another level. So never get content at where you are.
Well said, man. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Y'all just keep on winning. Hey, y'all got like a promo code or something we could give for One Music Fest? Y'all do promo codes?
You know what? Let's create one just for you.
All right, just make it social proof. So it's airs, social proof. I don't care what the discount is, but just you know, for y'all watching and enjoying the story, I think it's important that I meet you all at One Music Fest this year in Atlanta. What's the date? October.
The last week was that 25th to 26th.
Okay, cool, man. Meet us in, put it in the comments. If you are, just put OMF if you are going to meet us in the comments, and to try the promo code social proof. I don't know if it's going to work, okay, but just try it and hopefully we'll get a discount, all right? We love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. Make sure you follow all 4 of these brothers, and we'll see you at One Music Fest this year. Peace.
Peace and love.
Peace. Right. If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.